Okay, we're here with Courtland Crain, who I really just met about 20 minutes ago. And we had this great conversation, but that's not how we really met. Let me give a brief introduction and then let's get right into it. Courtland Crain is a grad student in speech language pathology at the University of South Florida in Tampa. He did a fascinating video that I encourage everyone to watch. It's called Stuttering, a Difference, Not a Disability. I watched it, I loved it, and I just had to meet you. I just thought it was great. And here we are on Zoom. So we're going to talk all things stuttering with my new friend, Courtland Crain. Courtland, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good, good. Always fun. It was just really fun talking with you. Let's have fun now. So just as an introduction, give us a brief look at your stuttering journey. Has it gotten easier for you? And if it has, how did you make that happen?
Yeah, so I've stuttered my whole life, ever since I was about 3 years old, probably. And growing up, I really wasn't too, I wasn't really that accepting of my stuttering. I tried to hide all the time. I would not talk to people just for that reason. I would just, I wouldn't raise my hand in class. I really let it kind of control my life. And I went to speech therapy, ever since I could remember at this point, pretty much. And it just kind of progressively got worse until about high school. Because when I was in high school, my family moved across the country, and I actually changed my name to Chad just because I didn't want to stutter on Courtland when I met new people. That was a huge thing in my life, was that I avoided trying to stutter. So, what a better way to do that than to change your own name. So
I wanted to do that so many times.
Yeah.
In fact, I was just talking to another guy who stutters earlier today. He said he wanted to change his name.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You have no idea what I went through with my name, but this is about you, not me. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, that point in high school, I felt like I was at my all-time low with stuttering.
Early in high school, late in high school?
Yeah, this was like early in high school.
Okay.
My freshman year. And then my sophomore year of high school, the next year, I chose to take online classes just so that I didn't have to go to a real school.
Wow.
And have to talk to people. And then that actually happened again my senior year of high school. So
wow,
pretty much throughout high school, I was not accepting at all of my stuttering. And when I started working with a speech therapist who also stuttered, for the first time in my life, I had a chance to talk about my stuttering more in a way that, more of in a way that applies to my feelings on stuttering, rather than just like the actual, motoric aspects of stuttering, because, people who stutter are people too. We have feelings, we experience all these emotions with our stuttering. And I never felt like I was able to express those emotions until, I was like 17. So from that point on, and then when I started college, I started getting more and more okay with my stuttering. I started challenging myself. I would try to make more conversations with strangers. I would try to be more open about it. And, that was my influence to pursue speech pathology. And that's when I just really found a calling in my life. And I felt like I was finally able to kind of overcome my stuttering kind of early into college. And 4 years later, I feel great about it.
That's great. That's great. So what? So you've accepted your stuttering. Anything else that has helped you get to the point where you are today?
I think a few things that really helped was just finding confidence within myself. And that didn't really even start with my stuttering. That started with me just trying to find confidence within myself in aspects of my physical health, my mental health. And then kind of once I got that all under my control, there's my stuttering left, which at that point, I felt so great about myself to where I just didn't care that much about my stuttering. And, I think another thing that really helped was just to understand that this is a lifelong journey, and that my stuttering's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So why, live a life where I feel depressed about my stuttering when I can actually live a life embracing my stuttering, accepting it as part of me, and stutter openly in front of other people. Once I started to not be scared of stuttering in front of strangers, that's when my confidence just went through the roof. I felt like I could just talk to anybody at that point, and it really helped me kind of climb that mountain to self-acceptance.
Good. Very good to hear. So you did this video, and tell us about it. Tell us what you're viewing on stuttering as a disability.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting topic.
There are actually 2 videos, right?
Yeah. So
when I listened to one, I saw something come up on another. I don't know how you engineered that. I was very impressed.
Yeah. So what happened is that I got that idea last week to make the video because something that's really personal to my life is that stuttering is not a disability to me. I don't see myself as disabled. And the reason why is because I've been able to accomplish so much in my life despite having a stutter. And these past couple of years, I've never allowed stuttering to hold me back. So I got that inspiration, and then I made a video just kind of bringing to light the positive aspects of stuttering and how stuttering has been kind of like a joy in my life, and that to me,
no joy in my life, buddy.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's why when I made that video, I had this approach that it's more of a difference than a disability. And then I posted that video to a couple of different Facebook groups, and I asked for their opinions about this. These were groups that have thousands of people who stutter in them, and I got this wide range of responses that were kind of agreeing with my view that stuttering is more of a difference. And then I had a lot of people saying how stuttering it is more of a disability. in their lives. So that's where I got the idea to make an updated video. After I talked to all these different people, I heard their stories, I heard how stuttering applies to their lives. And I really came to the conclusion that it's kind of a choice. You can allow stuttering to be a disability if you choose to. And then, that's where it gets tricky too, is that what classifies as a disability? So that's where that term can have a lot of different interpretations. And, I know that stuttering is technically classified as a disability
Really?
Under the Americans with Disabilities Act. And
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that can
money
really
for stuttering, because if so, where's the money? Show me the money.
I know. I don't know exactly what the Social Security benefits are with it, but I know that through that, for your work or your school, you can get accommodations for stuttering, which to a lot of people can really help them. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and the more that I talk to people about it this last week, the more that I just kind of broaden my scope to really see the whole big picture on whether or not stuttering is a disability.
So you don't view it as a disability in your life.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, I don't. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think that has helped you?
I think that
point of view has helped you.
Yeah. I think that in certain ways, seeing myself as a person who stutters, but not, as a disabled person who stutters, I think that to me personally, that really shines this positive light in my life, because it tells me that, I don't have this thing constantly weighing me down, because I allow it to be part of me. I wear stuttering on my sleeve. I feel like I need to get a tattoo of that or something, to have like the literal sense of it. But it's true. It's like I stutter every time I talk with anybody who I talk to. So, I don't try to hide it. I don't try to ask for help. I don't really want to get, accommodations. I mean, unless there's like a time restraint, which, you kind of sometimes need to have accommodations, but just in general, I feel like stuttering has been a very positive thing in my life that has led me to, to pursue speech language pathology. It's led me to form great connections with people. It's allowed me to, to just be real with myself and with other people too.
That's great. So, just before we close, maybe your article inspired me to write a blog post, which hasn't come up yet. It's probably in another few weeks. Are you, on stuttering mindset, are you a victim, a bystander, or unstoppable?
Yeah.
And in my life, I spent decades being a victim, and I played the victim. And then I was a bystander for a couple decades. And then when I really adopted more of a viewpoint like you, I became unstoppable, which is where I think you're at. You've made that transition from victim to unstoppable in very short order. So that's very cool.
Yeah, thanks. And it's weird because and like I haven't really had that bystander phase. It's almost like I jumped from the victim phase to the unstoppable phase, in the course of like a year. So
yeah. So Before we close, any suggestions to how fellow stutterers should view their stuttering? Anything you want to add?
Yeah.
We went through a lot.
Yeah. I definitely think that like whenever I try to give advice to other people who stutter, I really try to bring the message that, you need to love yourself and especially love your stuttering. I spent so much of my life so angry at my stuttering that it just
Yeah.
held me back for so many years from doing everything that I really wanted to do. So, I know that it's not easy to just have that change of mindset, but it really just takes trying to experiment, trying to stutter more in front of people and trying to be very open about it. Like I mentioned, I wear my stuttering on my sleeve. I don't try to hide away from it. And because of that, I've formed great connections. And I feel like people really admire that. The whole world really admires when you are so open with your stuttering and don't hide it away. So, that's one of like my huge takeaway messages is just to try to have a very positive outlook on it.
Well, as someone who spent decades avoiding compromising his career to avoid stuttering, to avoid speaking, I can't agree with you more, really. Just fantastic. And I'm so happy we got this time together, Courtland. I hope
Yeah,
we
me
do it
too.
again. I hope
Yeah,
we do this
definitely.
again.
Yeah.
And great talking with you. And I hope we get a great response to this because what you had to say, I thought, was really, really important. So thanks for coming on. And I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been really great. Thank you again.
Talk soon.